Hello everyone, I am attempting to show you how to replace the LCD screen on a Lenovo, and it's a G510, and I am doing this with just my cell phone, and I'm trying to do it one-handed, so I will do my best. But I know what you need to start with is the first thing is that you do want to remove the battery, which I've done here. So once you have the battery removed, then you need, and I'm sorry for the bad video quality here, but you need to remove the frame around the screen. Now this particular frame does not have any screws, so you simply just need to be able to pop it off. And if you work your fingers around it, really from the inside, you will see, and you can probably hear it popping and cracking, and there's the top part there. So just keep working your way around. And as you can hear, it's continuing to pop. Now there is a piece down here where the hinges are that also you want to be careful with. But that will need to come off, and I'll try and show you that angle there. But I've got that off now. As you can see, that's free. And just keep working your way around. So that is now free, and I'm going to just lift this and place it aside. Now that the frame is off, you need to take out, there are 6 screws altogether. There is one in the top corner, right there, top right hand corner, and then there are 2 in each lower corner. So you can see those 2 screws there, and then over on the other side, 2 more screws. I will pause here, remove those screws, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I'm now back with you. I have all the screws removed. The next step is you need to separate the actual screen, and as you can see, those screws are actually holding in the frame against the back plastic panel, as you can see here. So here's the back plastic panel, and then the screen. Those screws are holding this frame, as you can see, which is actually the part with the hinge on it, to that back panel. So once you have the screws out, you should be able to flip the panel down, and then what I would suggest is go ahead before you take out. There are 6 more screws. I will show them to you here. There are 3 on each side. You can see there's a screw there, one more towards the middle, and then one down towards the bottom there. And so there are 3 on each side. So once you have it flipped down, you'll want to remove those screws. But again, I would suggest before doing that, you do need to remove the cable here. This is the actual cable that connects the laptop to the LCD screen. So in order to do that, there's a tab here, and it is kind of taped down. And I'll try and zoom in on here, but it does slide in this direction. So you simply want to peel this back. And I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed, but you lift it and then you just sort of gently try to work the cable out, and as you can see, it has come apart. And you'll want to again pull that tape up, try and separate it. So that's what it looks like separated. So now I am going to pause the video and remove those 6 screws, 3 on each side, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I did want to show you, I now have the 6 screws removed. So what I will do now is, now that also that the cable is disconnected, I can just take the old panel and lift it out. And as you can see, you're left with just the frame. So now it's time to install the new panel, which I do have over here. You want to reinstall it in the same order. So I would suggest you drop in the new screen, which I have over here. The new screen does have, it should come with a protective plastic film right on the front, which this one does have. So I would suggest leaving that on for right now. And you will want to remove that film as the last step before you put the frame, the plastic frame that just snaps off, back on. So I am going to pause the video again here and work on putting the new panel in, replacing the 6 screws in the frame, 3 on each side, and then I will be back with you once I've done that. Okay, now I am back with you. I was able to get the 6 screws back in to attach the panel to the frame here. As you can see, I'm not going to lift it up because I still need to attach the cable, but you can see that this metal frame is now attached, and the 3 screws on each side, 6 total, are attached. The next thing you're going to want to do is, well, first and foremost, what you want to keep note of, see these little tabs down in here and how that cable's running in there? Because I took it apart, you can see where the cable came out a little bit. So at some point you're going to want to make sure that this cable does get tucked back down in here into these little clips, as you can see. But I wouldn't do that until you actually get this cable pushed back in. So here's the cable. Here's a close-up of it. So what you're going to want to do is just put it in here, and it just pushes on in that direction. So you should be able to tell once that clips down in there. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but I'll give it my best. And if I can't get it to work, I will pause the video and take care of it. And let's see. Seems to be a little difficult one-handed, so I'm going to pause it here real quick and take care of this. Okay. Took a little extra effort, but as you can see now, I'll try and get a close-up here of it, where you can see that the cable has actually slid in there. There you go. So you can see. Sorry, it's a little shaky, but if you see right there, you can see that that's clipped back in. So I am going to take the tape and just try and lay it flat back down just to kind of hold it in there. Hopefully keep that attached. So now the next step is to try and raise the frame here. And that way we can try and get the back panel put right back on. So a little bit tricky here. So I've got it up here now. I'm just going to push it up a little bit. And this is just a little styrofoam piece that came on top of the panel to protect it a little bit. So now that I have this up, we need to take this back panel here, and as you can see, there's the screw holes there. There's the one on each top. It's this gold one here, gold one in that corner, and then once we have those on, there are a couple down below as well, but those we're going to need to reattach to. So I am going to pause the video here again and get these screws in, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. Took a little bit of time for me. I'm no expert by all means, but I haven't mentioned yet, I did get this replacement screen from laptopscreen.com. It's a laptopscreen.com, and when I upload the video, I will add a link to that, so that way you can find it. But the next and final step, well, I shouldn't say the final step, but the next step is to get the plastic frame put back on. So I have that over here, and as you'll see, we have these tabs here again, and this is a little tricky one-handed. But essentially you're going to want to make sure that everything lines up, and of course these tabs down here fit down inside. You may need to open it up a little bit more, which I'm doing right here, laying it back a little bit more, and there we go. So those kind of drop down in there now, as you can see. But I think the easiest way to get this in is to try and start from here where the Lenovo is, and then just work your way around and just try and get everything snapped back in as best you can. Oops, I almost forgot something. That wouldn't have been good. You do want to remove this protective film. So let me get that peeled off. I'm going to do that two-handed, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back for the last time. I went ahead, as I turned it off, I did peel off the plastic sheeting, the protective sheeting, so that came off. Just peeled right off very easily. And I got everything snapped in all the way around. The one trick, just that I had noticed, is once you get it snapped in all the way around very firmly, down on the bottom and everything, and here on the hinges, close the lid all the way. And then you'll notice, if you stand it up, here's where the hinges are. Just make sure you push down on those, because I did get a final click. Since I already did it, it's not going to click, but you can push down on those and it'll click in place. And then what you're going to want to do is go ahead and put your battery back in. And let's hope everything's successful here, and I'll get this turned back over. Open it up. We'll hit the old power button here. And there you go.